Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. Ever since Uche Mefor tendered this resignation and moved on, well, he said that though he is not within the indigenous people of Biafra, but of course the Biafran struggle and the Biafran spirit is still strongly at work in him. And he has been talking quite a lot, if you ask me. He has been revealing a whole lot of things, so many things. He has called Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a liar, deceives people. The same mouth he uses to praise, the same mouth he uses to lie all manner. But that's not where we are going right now. Those are internal squabbles. I trust that one way or the other they'll find a way around it. But what we are heading is the fact that IPOB have decided to change strongly some of their structures, and wow, it's as if they were waiting for Uche Mefor to leave before they quickly do what they needed to be done. But let's find out what is going on in a moment. But before we do so, I'd like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Well, IPOB abolishes office of the deputy leader of the indigenous people of Biafra in a memo dated the 26th of November 2020, which was signed by IPOB head of Directorate of State Mazi Chika Edoziem. The memo stated that office of the Deputy Head of Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, is with immediate effect abolished. The memo also said that the office will no longer exist in IPOB, as Indigenous People of Biafra structure. Part of the memo as extracted reads thus: the office of the Deputy Leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra is abolished with immediate effect and ceases to be part of IPOB leadership structure. Henceforth, nobody should be referred to as Deputy Leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB. The memo said throughout the history of the freedom fighting, there is nothing like Deputy Leader. It went further to say any family or any family member of the indigenous people of Biafra worldwide, led by Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, be it a principal officer or not, who is not willing to follow directives from our leader, whether directly passed on to the person or through the directorate, will do well to step aside or resign from the position now. Part of the memo concluded. Whoa. These guys are not joking. If they decided to take the team tables by the horn, I could still remember that one of our community presidents, when we're discussing in our community, said that actually the style of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now is a style of complete rulership, complete control. That in the case of fighting for freedom, in freedom fighting, there's no room for democracy. It's actually dictatorial form until it is achieved, because the struggle is stiff. Subsequently, they will now begin to think of harmonizing it and making it democratic. Well, you can also see that the memo has also changed to show that they're actually tilting towards that. But let's quickly hear what other Nigerians are saying concerning this matter. Some Nigerians have talked, and some persons who do not agree to the whole structure also are talking. Some are really for, some are against, but I'll just take like two or three, then look at this analytically and how this will affect, you know, in the now and also in the future, what this whole move connotes. This one here is saying bunch of dictators. Mazi Edoziem, in the history of freedom fighters, do we have the Directorate of State? Worse than what befell the gentle and humble Uche Mefor, who is also the moderator of your excesses and madness will soon befall you. Anybody who advised you as a body becomes an enemy. It happened to the likes of Iranya, Ima Mezu, George Onyeibe, Maxi, Chelsea, and others. Your own will be soon, because you are very dictatorial and arrogant. Whoa, this one's quite somebody from the opposition. I guess this one does not even believe in the ideology, or maybe he does believe, but I guess it's more of Uche Mefor follower. But if you ask me, they're actually fighting for the same cause. I really don't know why they're going through all this. This one here is saying no going back, forward, ahead. We are heading home, no going back. So it's a command and control. All right, let's look at this critically. Okay, we're going to look at this objectively. Of course, you're also free to you criticize it or commend it. You're also free to also add your voice in our comment section. But let's quickly look at this. This particular IPOB, where some persons have said something about IPOB existing before now, but Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but I don't want to go through all this. This particular IPOB that have become been heard all over is actually the brainchild. I mean, this particular one. I'm not referring to the ones that had happened in the past. When you call IPOB, the first name that comes to your mind is actually Nnamdi Kanu. Take it, just let's tell ourselves the truth the way it is, okay? Because he has pushed the name thus far to the point that when you say the leader, you just know it's Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So, to a great extent, I would say it's his brainchild. This particular movement here is a brainchild. But when it comes to the issue of Biafra, there have been people who have been pushing and agitating for it. And before IPOB came into the picture, we have the like Ojukwu self, the late Ojukwu actually pushed for it. He didn't have his name was not Indigenous People of Biafra IPOB, but he talked about Biafra. We had the people like Masob and the rest. They've been pushing for this whole same thing. But the style is this particular group is the brainchild of Nnamdi Kanu. So to a great extent, since it is his brainchild, it's actually his progressive right to decide how he wants it to be run. All right, because if anything happens today, it still be him. If it fails or succeeds, he has said he's the leader. So everybody will tend to look at him if he gets it right or wrong. But we want to look at this in a bigger picture. Don't forget that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been looking forward to not just the 5 southeastern states, but other parts of the Niger Delta states, to all the old eastern region that will culminate or that you want to inculcate into the Biafran dream. A lot of persons have been telling him, forget about these other guys, let just the 5 states move on. But he just believed that you can't leave your brothers behind and all that. So now, with this style of structure of leadership, I feel that the other regions or the other states, some parts of them will be like, if this is going to be the case, where we do not have people who can dialogue, come together, are you sure that we're not going to be seeing a different dimension of Nigeria that we're running away from into a bigger one? While some persons are saying no, that this is just a formation to keep the family strong because of the struggle ahead. Some of them are of the opinion that if they allow democracy, what I mean by democracy is freedom of choice. Everybody sits down. Let's hear your view. They sit on the round table. Let's hear your view. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And to give room for malls, where people who pretend to be for the fighting for the Biafra, but actually are working for against the actualization of Biafra. And they also believe that if they do that, it will not have much force, that there should be one voice and one style, so that everybody moves in the same direction instead of arguing that democracy ideology will come after the actualization of Biafra. But the challenge people are saying is that, okay, we assume that it's going to move this way, okay, which is very commendable, in as much as he's trying to take all the responsibility of actualizing Biafra on his head. They're now saying, what if eventually it's actualized, he doesn't let go of power? Because absolute power corrupt absolutely. That's the truth. You may not like it, but the truth is, once you give a man absolute power, at some point he begins to play God. At some point, so there's the beauty of democracy, that checks and balances, so that the human nature in him or her would suffice. But if you allow that absoluteness in the power or use of power, you may be seeing a god and not a man. But obviously this is his pet project. He has every right on how he wants the structure to be run. But then again, there's a message being signaled, there's a signal message being emanated out of the family of IPOB with that structure. Those who are from non-Igbo speaking part are seeing the signal in a different dimension. They may not be able to open up the way it is, but I feel that it's better or clearer for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to also explain to them. I wouldn't want to be the one to do the explaining. He should be the one to tell them, look, it's probably for this period of time if they will revert back or else. But let's see how it plays out, though. Just my personal opinion, but I also believe also that it's his pet project. He has every right to how he wants it to be done. If he feels that's the only way that he will achieve his project, then by all means it's his choice. That's